I am sure you will agree. Education is the key to open your door to opportunity. So educate yourself, you'll see.
My name is Cyrus, Acting Director of the National Council for Science and Technology, which is a department within the Ministry of Innovation, Science and Smart Technologies. What is STEAM? I think I'll probably start with what is STEM, because STEM is really a forerunner to STEAM. STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics. It's really started, I would say, sometime during the regime of Obama presidency in his first term, where he committed the United States to focusing on science, technology, engineering and mathematics. So it surrounds a methodology where you're focusing on inquiry-based education, project-based learning, and all that surrounds that in terms of using technology to enable a focus on those areas of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. One might raise the question, why the focus on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics? Well, it has been demonstrated that there's really a demand for careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in the United States and also in many developing countries. And hence, during that period of time, there was this focus on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. In addition to that, during that period, what was observed that there was a shortage of undergraduate students pursuing those careers at a time when they were very much in demand, and so there was a need to focus on those areas, hence science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. However, probably within the last 3 to 4 years, it was felt that a focus on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics did not provide everything that was needed. And in fact, some of the criticisms and some of the focus on moving in a different direction came from parents and some educators, that there's a need to embrace arts as well. And so STEM provides some sort of segue for a focus on arts, inclusion of a focus on arts. And hence, we have that STEAM evolve. So you're talking now about science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. And it is important because what has been identified as 21st century skills being problem-solving skills, critical thinking skills, collaboration skills, and communication skills. When you look at all these skills that are required for 21st century occupations and careers, it is said that this focus on STEAM provides all the opportunities for students to nurture those skills that are very much needed in 21st centuries. As you're aware, the scientific approach is about problem solving at the end of the day. And focusing on STEAM and STEM provide you with that opportunity. As you're aware, the arts component, arts is a very broad area of study. There are several arts. We're talking about film, we're talking about music, we're talking about painting, fine arts, and so on, dance. And all of these can also be enabled by the use of technology and the use of science. And in fact, the use of technology and the use of science strengthens our appreciation and the value that we can get from the arts component. In addition to this, the communication aspect, the collaboration aspect is very much in focus when we're thinking about STEM applications, because scientists and technologists must communicate, scientists and technologists must design, and so arts become an important consideration. At the end of the day, you're trying to produce students from the educational system that have certain skills and competencies that are needed within the world of work. Okay, that is why there's a focus on STEAM, and in fact, the government, the new government, have actually signaled its intention to focus on STEAM education. And I think is necessary because as we look at what is required within the marketplace in terms of skills and competencies, a focus on STEAM would allow you to produce those students that have the skills and competencies that are very much in demand for the 21st century. So at the end of the day, you want the output from the educational system to be in congruence with the needs of the job market, and that is what it's all about. We have to make some changes to the educational system. We have to find ways and means to integrate STEAM into the curriculum, and which is really how we teach. There are a number of tools that have to be used. Computer systems, computer coding, for example, is one of the media for which we use for problem solving and critical thinking. Things like robotics within the curricula has to be introduced if we are actually going to be focusing on STEAM, which allows us to, as I said before, to use the project-based approach to education and also the inquiry approach to education. Our focus should not be on rote learning. I think we should try wherever possible to reduce incidents of rote learning. We are trying to produce thinkers, innovators, people who can problem solve. Now, in any effort to produce skills and competencies, we're talking about children within the educational system. Remember, we have a number of stakeholders within the process, of which parents will be stakeholders in the process. And I think that parents should generally try to support their children in this endeavor. It is a new approach to education where it is not about rote learning. It's not just about acquiring knowledge. It is about how you use the knowledge. In terms of experiential learning, what it is by learning by doing and then reflecting on what you've done. So it's a new approach that perhaps is not pervasive throughout the island. I'm aware that perhaps in some instances teachers have been using this approach, but we really want to expand the approach, because this is what is called for if we are trying to produce students for the 21st century. We're even trying to produce students with skills for jobs that we don't even know exist now. There might be jobs coming down the pipeline 5-10 years from now that we don't know what they are. So basically it's about producing students that can think. We want critical thinkers, and in order to do that we need to focus on how we educate children. The government has signaled its intention to promote STEAM education in Barbados, and I think this is very much consistent with the development agenda, which includes digital transformation of Barbados. There have been quite a lot of talk about smart cities. We are talking about the blue economy and the green economy, and I think that those areas in particular demands that you pay a focus on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Because if we look at the blue economy, for example, we realize that it's about how we exploit our marine resources for economic or economic gain and growth. And this requires some understanding of science, technology, and mathematics. Digital transformation is another area. If we look at a number of technologies that association with digital transformation, if you're talking about artificial intelligence, you're talking about the Internet of Things, we're talking about sensors, all of these have their genesis in terms of science and technology, and a greater understanding and appreciation of science and technology will also give us a greater understanding and appreciation of the capabilities of artificial intelligence, robotics, sensors, and the Internet of Things. So there's a natural synergy between the promotion of these technologies and greater understanding and the value of science and technology. So if we are to employ these technology for social and economic progress, we must have that deeper understanding of science and technology. and how science and technology can actually enable this technology to deploy around Barbados with a greater understanding of what is possible with them.
Child, every adult, every day, every time.